It's Quasimodo and you're watching YurpTV. YurpTV is a platform where local business owners, entrepreneurs, and influential people in the community can have a voice and actually explain their process of how they got to where they're going or where they want to be in life. What I'm doing is hopefully looking to inspire people like those of you that are watching to either be a better version of yourself or even to choose a better career in life or even a better pathway. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all enjoy the show. Quasimodo, baby. Dollar in a polo, yeah. Popo taking photos, yeah. Hey, talking is a no-no, hey. Hey, call me Quasimodo. You know me, 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 you know me. After that paper, yeah, that paper, yeah, that paper, yeah, that paper. You know me, you know me.
Demetrius Hicks.
How's it going?
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. Just running from here.
Yeah. I heard about that, man. So I explained to you what we got going with YurpTV.
Absolutely.
How we're looking to inspire the community and everything. You seem to be a big proponent in that yourself, being that you're running for mayor.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about where you're from, bro.
Actually, so I was born here in Greenville.
Yeah.
Then soon after I was born, I moved to Baltimore. I lived up there until I was about 6 or 7 years old.
Okay.
Came back down here around that time, and then I moved away in 2011 to go to school up in DC, and I came back in 2017.
Okay.
So,
what school did you go to in DC?
American University.
Okay. How'd you like it?
It was interesting.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, but it was interesting.
Got you. I got you. What made you run for mayor, bro?
Actually, I used to come down here. Well, when I lived down here, I remember as a teenager, I was always thinking to myself, there's not much to do around here except the stuff that I was doing, which wasn't something I'm proud of. But
got you.
I was like, we actually were to change our mindset as a city to say that, let's promote youth organizations, promote better employment opportunities, and just to promote just an overall better lifestyle, a quality of life. And that's what make our city a better place to live at. So when I decided to move back down here, that's what I was like, that's what I want to work on.
Got you. How old are you?
26.
You're 26.
26
You're running for mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the youngest in Greenville history.
That's what's up, man. Can you tell us a little bit about what some of your views consist of, man?
Absolutely. So my campaign is based upon jobs, justice, and environment, and I call it Greenville Works. Okay. Just because that's the areas that we want to work on.
Yeah.
So first of all, we would like to create more businesses, but not just any business. We want to create businesses that have workplace democracy.
Gotcha.
We spend most of our lives in working in places, jobs and whatnot, but we don't have any say in it.
Gotcha.
So if a corporation thinks that they can make a little bit more money moving their job, to another city, another country, another state, whatever else, then we're just, left with the short side of the stick.
That's right.
So it's like we actually need to have our own businesses, and actually, we don't have to compete among each other so much. We need to actually build businesses, within each other. So that's one of the priorities of the Hicks administration, provided a win.
Gotcha. Also,
the environment. A lot of us, we don't really realize that the environment is something that we actually need to care a little bit more about.
That's true.
I mean, we can fight for all the stuff in the world, all the civil rights and whatnot, try to make our world a little bit more equal, but if our world is to end in the next few years or by the end of the century, the fight was worth nothing. So we actually need to take care of our world a little bit better.
I understand that.
And also justice, because justice is something that in our community that, unfortunately, it's always perceived to be police and going to the court. But it's like, I feel like it's unjust if somebody can't feed their child. And I feel like that kind of perpetuates crime in a sense, because you're going to do whatever you need to do to feed your child.
That's a fact.
You want to be the best parent you can be.
You're going to try anyway.
Yeah, you're going to try. Like, exactly. As 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. Tell me a little bit about your campaign, man. What's some hardships you face, man, with running this campaign?
Absolutely. One of the hardships actually is dealing with developers, to be honest, because developers in the community are super influential here. They want to develop the city, and we always that isn't to say that we're anti-development, but we need to make sure that we are developing our community. Okay. That we're doing it in an appropriate way, where people can actually have a quality lifestyle, have good housing opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So developers they are a big group of people that we're fighting against right now. Gotcha. So we can actually provide like affordable housing and whatnot to people.
So those developers are the ones that's pretty much changing the whole west side for ECU?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what, you know exactly what's going on with that?
Yeah, it's gentrification. They want to kick everybody out of their neighborhood.
Factual.
And really, like, I try to tell people this, like, for ECU students, taking a home from the poor or taking a cheaper house, that means taking a house from somebody who can't afford it also.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should unite our fights, the students and the poor, because they can't afford to live in Uptown either, the students. They can't afford $1,300 rent.
No.
And the people in West Greenville, they can't afford, you know, $600, $700, $800 rent either. So what we need to do is actually reframe how we go about housing in Greenville altogether. So I actually have a plan where we'll charge developers about $2,000 a unit. So hypothetically speaking, if they were to build 500 units in Uptown, then they'll contribute about $1 million towards affordable housing.
Okay.
So instead of kicking people out of their houses in West Greenville, we can actually give them an opportunity to get job training and actually redevelop their communities and themselves. And also I feel like that will probably provide, not even probably, I'm sure it'll provide just more respect for your community, because you felt like you helped build that.
Yeah. Do you feel like they will go with that though? Like, I understand what you're campaigning for, but you feel like you have a strong fight against it?
I tell people like this also.
Yeah.
Actually, I told you this a little earlier also.
Yeah.
Is that so it's going to be a long-term battle that we're fighting here. So
That's
I don't expect this stuff sometimes to be implemented in the next year or two. But as long as we keep public pressure up and making sure that the community is heard, I feel like they have to capitulate, or they have to agree to one extent or another. It may not be $2,000, it may be $1,000, but it's going to be some kind of fee that comes along, because the community, unfortunately, or fortunately in some cases, we're not going to take it anymore.
Got you. So what about the current mayor, PJ? Do you feel like he's doing what he's supposed to do as far as helping the community, or is it all about big business and money here?
I feel like this is a good question, actually.
Yeah.
I feel as if with PJ Conley, and this is kind of the whole thing, but this whole country, United States of America.
PJ's the mayor, by the way. Yeah.
PJ Conley is the mayor of Greenville.
Yeah.
I feel as if he's working correctly for the community that he represents.
Oh, okay.
I represent a different community.
Yes, sir.
I represent a diverse group of people, young people, old people, people who are on social security, people who are homeless. I represent those people.
Okay.
He more or less supports people who are more or less well off, people that are participating in kicking people out of West Greenville, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Which, that doesn't mean that he's being ineffective at his job. If anything, that means he's being more effective at his job. But me as mayor, that's not where I want to be at.
Gotcha. What do you look to accomplish, man, by the end of your campaign? What are you hoping to accomplish?
At the end of the campaign, or
yes, sir.
At the end of the campaign, I just want to make sure that the voice of the community is heard. I always say this to people: if I become mayor, then you become mayor. So
I know we hear a lot of politicians talk, man. You know, politicians is associated with lies, man. What could you say, or what can we expect? You know, from your you being a mayoral candidate.
That's a great question, also.
Yeah.
You can expect that I will always make sure that I'm true to my values, that I'm fighting for you.
Yes, sir.
And that, you know, even if we win or if we lose, that, again, your voice is being heard. Right now, the city of Greenville, even just as we're running, they're already trying to scramble a little bit, even though it's, to be honest, it's pretty much scraps. But they're trying to implement like a youth program now, about $100,000. And I feel like that's kind of a dangerous narrative also, like what they're doing, because people think that because the city of Greenville is now contributing $100,000, that now that means that they're more or less on their side. But that's just crumbs.
Yeah.
We actually need to have people.
It's a tax write-off.
Yeah, it's just, exactly. It's a tax write-off for the city of Greenville for all they care. But it's like we really need to demand more out of our elected officials. So me, provided if I win, I want people outside of my office, if I'm not holding true to my values, or if I'm undermining the rights of other people, I want people outside of my office telling me, hey, you're not staying true to your values and why we voted for you.
Yeah, I definitely would tell you.
Oh yeah, and I would appreciate it too.
Yeah.
I'm a person where I try to process things to the best of my ability. It's like I take things to heart. So it's like, if you told me that, I may be thinking I'm doing a good job, but if you're telling me that I'm being ineffective or not staying true to my values or fighting for the wrong side, please let me know.
That's what's up,
so man. I can actually, change.
I actually just yesterday, are you more on a Democratic or Republican side?
I will be a Democrat, but I'm more to the left of a Democrat, actually. Okay. I feel like we have to get beyond just parties altogether, to be honest. Both of them are kind of keeping us down.
I totally agree. Yeah. I totally agree. A lot of people won't say that, man.
Yeah, actually, I didn't receive the endorsement of the Pitt County Democratic Party. And honestly, I feel as if that's a good thing because we're not representing just the Democratic Party, we're representing the people at the end of the day.
That's what's
so
up.
If you're independent, if you're a Republican and somehow you're a decent Republican, I support you also, and I represent you also.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And of course, Democrats. Of course, I'm automatically going to support a Democrat. But
exactly. Where do you see yourself in 2 years, man?
In 2 years,
let's say if you win.
If I win, I see myself running for a re-election again.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
Because the agenda that I'm trying to set it's like a 10 to 20 year agenda. So I feel like I have to get the ball rolling on that stuff. Continue to be out in the community as much as I can to make sure that we have a system built up where people can actually go downtown and actually participate in the democratic process more or less. That's where a lot of people fail at, honestly. People, they always just want to immediately think about re-election, but they don't think about their constituents until re-election.
Exactly.
So that's bad. So in those 2 years, that's what I like to do. Just continue to work on unifying communities, making sure that our voice can be heard. And then when we go to in the next 2 years, we can actually come out even stronger with what we're fighting for.
Gotcha. Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
No married? Okay.
Not married. Not yet. I have a girlfriend that she definitely wants a ring, and I'll try to put it on her finger when I have a little bit more money.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So I like what you got going, man. That's why I reached out to you, man. I definitely like what you got. I've never personally ever seen a black mayor in Greenville. So this is big. You know, it's definitely a stepping stone or a milestone, even if you do reach it. Tell me about what the pre-K program that you had, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you told me on the phone about a pre-K situation. Tell me what is that looking to implement?
So yeah, we would like to implement a universal pre-K program.
Okay.
Which is essentially being able to have students go to preschool early on or go to preschool. Because a lot of people don't really realize this, but in Pitt County we have about 2,100 students that are outside of the pre-K system, which has an effect across the community. That means that people aren't able to go back to jobs. If they go back to jobs, they're kind of having to compromise. They're like, okay, well, this job has to be at nighttime because I have to be with my child. That's not good also, so that has a negative effect on our community, but also it has an impact on the children themselves. I've talked to many educators over the past few months, and they told me that they can actually tell the difference between students that have attended pre-K versus those who haven't. So they have an advantage. So it's like, if we want to make sure that our community is functioning the best for everyone, then we actually need to consider implementing a universal pre-K program. I've actually had a conversation with the superintendent of Pitt County Schools maybe last week sometime.
Oh yeah?
And we actually had a conversation on new school buildings altogether. In Pitt County, we need about $200 million worth of new school buildings in the next few years. So we're talking about how we could possibly put pre-K at every new building, whether it be elementary, middle, or high school, so that it'll be readily accessible across the county. Right now, we're here near J.H. Rose, and imagine if people in this community here in Arlington Point were able to drop their kid off at Rose and then to be able to go on about their jobs or whatever they need to do. Not just working, because we don't want people just working all the time. We want people also to have a life beyond
family,
that. So
I respect that, man. So what if you don't win?
If I don't win, I'm still going to continue to fight for the same issues at the end of the day. And like I said, build community, because that means that doesn't mean, if I lose, that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily a loser. That just means that I got to recalibrate.
That's right.
And that's all I have to do is recalibrate. You
can always run again, right?
Say it again?
You can always run again, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Strengthen the message, get the message out there even more, and we'll work from there.
Well, we're definitely behind you, man. I don't do the voting thing, but this year, man, I might have to sign up just to get you in there, man. I like your views, man. We've talked already, so I definitely know where your head is at, man.
Yeah, it's just all about making our community work for everybody instead of just the wealthy, and I always call them deadbeat corporations. To be honest, you're a deadbeat corporation if you only pay 50 cents over minimum wage and think that you're doing something. That's a fact. So it's kind of like changing that narrative amongst the people of the community to actually understand that just because that corporation is doing a little bit more than they should, doesn't mean that they're good to you or good to us for that matter. So we got to demand more out of them. That's right. And the corporations, man, they write the laws, you know? Oh, absolutely. They lobby for laws. That's what it's called. They call it lobbying, but it's really bribing. Yeah. It's really just bribery at the end of the day. Exactly. I don't want none of that coming into my campaign. I'll be honest with you, because I don't want to feel as if politicians always say, when they get that money, they don't change their positions on anything, but that ain't reality. And I don't want to put myself into a position where I can ever be compromised in that sense. That's what's up. I'd rather be compromised to the poor than to be compromised to the rich.
Seems like you're playing a tough game, man. I hope you win, though. You know,
absolutely.
That's the beautiful thing about tough games.
Yeah.
If you beat them, you're more confident. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. If I beat them, they're gonna be very surprised. They're gonna come up with a better game plan next time. But,
exactly. So
that's what I'm saying. You got to continue just to build the forces in the community, even if I win, if I lose, whatever else, just to make sure that we keep the ball rolling on things.
And also, you said you wanted to implement or reform some type of justice system here.
Absolutely. So we actually are, a lot of cities across North Carolina are working on this program called Ban the Box, where people who have felonies or misdemeanors, they're able to not go through the process. You know, when you're filling out an application, it says what's your criminal background.
Yeah.
You got to put it down here. Pretty much automatically disqualified from that point.
Exactly.
And that person right there, actually, there's statistics that say that people who have been to jail are actually more loyal employees because they feel as if they don't want to lose that job. They understand how complicated it is to find them. So we have to explain that message to people, business owners, and across the community overall, that by banning the box now, allowing people just to go through the interview process, and we'll check the background a little later, that makes our community a little safer because they'll actually be able to get jobs. So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect is when it comes to police, instead of actually just always looking to increase the amount of police in our communities, I would like to dedicate more funds towards training programs so that people actually can have things to do, have more job opportunities, and we can actually bring better jobs here.
I've actually heard that Greenville has more police per capita than any city in North Carolina. Is that true?
I would be honest, I'm not sure of that, but I won't be surprised. We have 3 police departments here.
Exactly.
Greenville Police Department, ECU Police, and Vidant Police Department.
And Pitt.
Oh, and Pitt.
Pitt.
So, and then that's on top of the Sheriff Department.
Exactly.
And it's like, we can keep on playing this like foolish game where we think we're going to keep on adding cops and somehow that's supposed to mitigate any crime, but it doesn't really do anything. We actually need to create rural opportunities, create more youth programs, and just create overall, like I said, a better quality of life for people so that they won't have to commit crimes.
What do you think about implementing police from the areas that people are policing?
I think that we should definitely consider that. More police officers from neighborhoods, of course. Really just community policing overall.
Because I think what a big problem would be is, let's say you see a community, you know what I'm saying, based off what they are. A guy that they've never seen before is coming in and policing them.
Absolutely.
That would also create a hostile environment. This is a person you've never seen before. However, if it's old Ray Gibson from up the street who's policing you, he knows how to deal with you a little better because he's been around you.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that respect in some cases that where they probably will say, you know what, like I remember growing up with this guy here.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, like I will try to accommodate this person a little different.
Exactly. I respect
I do want more community policing. I can't really say that I want necessarily more policing overall, but I want more community police. I want people just from the community just to be involved in the affairs of everyone's lives. I have this kind of to digress for a second. I would like to have us like more community gardens, so people we can grow our own vegetables, fruits, and whatnot. Because unfortunately, a lot of us live in these things called food deserts where there isn't adequate food near us. So if we can just all get together, you know, not all of us, but you know, some of us in the neighborhood get together for like 1 hour a week or something and just pull weeds and just plant stuff and all that stuff like that. I feel like that'll also be good for our community.
That would be dope.
So that goes along with the whole thing of reinvigorating our communities, so that we don't just need police officers. We just got to like have like other alternatives to provide reasons not to commit crime. Like that's my whole thing.
Exactly. That's good, man. I feel like if you spark this, man, this will definitely influence others, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
This is something big, bro.
Absolutely.
Tell us, where can people find you, man, on social media or get in contact with you?
Absolutely. So my Facebook page is Demetrius Hicks. That's just my regular personal Facebook page. I'm putting a lot of policy up there. I also have Demetrius Hicks for mayor. And that's for like FOR.
FOR?
Yeah, for mayor. And also I have a website called Greenville.works.
Greenville.works.
Greenville.works, which I'm actually a little proud of that website because it's not just greenvilleworks.com.
So the pamphlet?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. But so this is like the pamphlet for our campaign here, and it just kind of highlights what we're working on overall, with, like I said, jobs, justice, and environment.
How can we get one of those?
Just hit me up on my Facebook page, and I'll be able to get it for you.
I appreciate that. You got any encouraging words or anything you want to say to the people watching, man, out there?
Absolutely. What we're fighting for in Greenville is definitely going to be something that it's going to take a long time for us to fight it. I always think about slavery, honestly, and our ancestors in a lot of cases, and when they say they probably never thought they were going to be free, but you know, it took time, and unfortunately hundreds of years, but it did happen. The same thing here with Greenville when it comes down to our fight against corporations and wealthy developers. When it comes down to building affordable housing and bringing quality workplace here, it's going to be a challenge. But I know people are strong in our community, and I know that we can actually build a much safer, a much more prosperous community for all. And we just got to, you know, have the patience to do so and just be involved in the process overall of building that community. So I ask for your support here, and thank you for listening to this video today.
Appreciate that, man. I got one more thing I need for you to say before we get out of here.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. This is Demetrius Hicks, and you're watching YurpTV.
Yerp. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, that was a good one right there.
Moto, you know me, 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 you know me. After that paper, yeah, that paper, yeah, that paper, yeah, that paper.